consumer motivation and ability to possess health-related claims and symbols. And this is my outline of the presentation. We will start with the problem statement and justification. The European regulation was implemented in 2007 to support scientifically sound health claims and information on labels, in which health claims is regulated and health symbols is not. It aims to improve the food choice of consumer and also encourage European food industry to provide healthier food products. However, there is the problem that the availability of this scientifically sound information are not sufficient itself because the actual effects depends on interaction with consumers and the resulting behavior. For example, consumers will only possess the information if they are motivated. So you can see from this graphic, if they are not motivated, they won't pay attention to the label and they will not use it. And also, consumers generally, they are not nutrition experts, so they may have limited knowledge and understanding towards this complicated health-related information. And this motivation and ability to possess also would influence further their food choice and food consumption. And this change of regulation may also influence their skepticism towards it. And in the past 6 years, the consumer had the opportunity to get more familiar with this functional food and health claims, so this study was conducted. And overall, the objectives of this study was to serve as the European Claimable project, which determines Belgians' consumers' motivation and ability to process health claims and symbols, and also serve as a follow-up study conducted by Professor Verbeke in 2006. This study will examine the changes in consumers' reactions in terms of credibility and purchase intention towards the functional food bearing health claims before and after the implementation of this regulation, and also give future direction for the development of health claims to strengthen their food choice and healthy eating. And there are mainly majorly four hypotheses of this study, in which the level of motivation and ability are correlated, and also they are related to consumers' characteristics and consumer reactions. And there is significant decrease in consumers' credibility and purchase intentions towards health claims 6 years after the implementation. And this study was conducted through a cross-sectional structured web-based surveys based on constraints, and there were 565 participants, Flemish consumers as the participants, based on the thesis tours panel. And SPSS was used to conduct all the statistical tests. Majorly, I've used an independent sample t-test and one-way ANOVA F test depending on the conditions for use, and also Pearson correlations. And for the result, this is the participants' characteristics. And in this study, the participants generally are older. In mean age is older than the one previously studied by Professor Verbeke. And there is one interesting findings here, which is the perception of health claims and symbols as marketing gimmicks, because it seems like the consumers, the participants in this study, they are not really aware of the regulations, because they perceive health claims as marketing gimmicks even more than health symbols. And for familiarity, because the high availability of omega-3 enriched spread in the market, so they are more familiar with it. And generally, consumers were not very motivated to possess these health claims and symbols, and it is positively associated with their diet health with awareness and the current use of the health claims and symbols. And also, consumers, they are more motivated if they perceive this information as regulated, and when they have a higher familiarity. And female was more motivated, probably because they are more interested in healthy eating. And also older participants, because they are more concerned about health. And also people who have the diet-related medical problems and also following health regimes, probably because they find it more personal relevant, so they are also more motivated. And main food shoppers for household could be because they feel more responsible for the food consumption and health of the household member. And when they have a higher perceived credibility and higher purchase intention, they are also more motivated. And in terms of ability to process, generally they have moderate subjective knowledge, and they have quite high subjective understanding. However, especially for health claims, they think that they understand quite a lot of health claims. However, the actual understanding of health claims is pretty low compared to health symbols. And these figures here is based on the scale of 5 as the full points. And for general subjective knowledge, this is positively related to higher diet health awareness and the higher usage as well. And when they are more familiar also with higher education level, and when they are main food shopper for the household. And also the hypothesis 3 were supported as well with the higher perceived credibility and higher purchase intention. And for subjective understanding, it is positively associated with higher diet health awareness, higher usage, higher familiarity, and also in female and people who are following health regimes. However, 2 of the hypothesis 1 were opposed, which is people who do not have any diet-related health problems, have higher subjective understanding, and people who are younger. And people who have higher perceived credibility and purchase intention were also positively associated. And for objective understanding, which is the actual understanding of people, it is higher in female, probably because they are more interested in healthy eating and they actively search for information, so they know more, and higher education level. But as you could see, higher education level was not associated with their subjective understanding, only objective understanding, probably because education increased their knowledge, but they also increased their awareness of what they do not know. And people who are younger in age also know more, because studies tell that older people, they have a lower ability of acquiring knowledge, acquiring information. And generally, motivation was positively correlated to subjective knowledge and subjective understanding, but is not correlated to objective understanding. And for perceived credibility, fiber-enriched cereals received the highest because it's a natural combination with 2 qualifying, which is healthy, nutrients and food carrier, and also but calcium-enriched fruit juice received the lowest because it's comparatively not natural. And omega-3 enriched spread, although it's potentially less healthy, but because the reputation of the health reputation of omega-3 has been built in the last few years. And there was no significant changes in the past 6 years for this. And for purchase intentions, it has the similar trend for the concept, but there was a significant decrease in the past 6 years, probably because the mass media coverage, which is mainly from the low trusted source, including advertisement, or because functional food markets is established for many years, but consumers, they cannot really feel the health benefits bring to them immediately, so they have a lower purchase intention. And generally, health claims have a higher have a higher perceived credibility and purchase intention than health symbols. So in conclusion, motivation and ability were associated with different consumers' characteristics and reactions, and their implementations for policymakers in order to align consumers' behavior with the regulation and its objective. They should change their actual knowledge and the perceptions through improved communication and education. And for food industry, they should place additional consideration before investing massively to place these health claims and symbols on the products, because consumer they are generally skeptical towards it, and also they are not highly motivated to process this information. Thank you.
Thank you very much.